you can see, or maybe you can't see very well, the mountains here. That's the Wasatch Front on the east side of Salt Lake Valley. And later this week, you won't even be able to see them probably because of the pollution that will be sitting in the valley floor here. But if you go up to Park City, which is only half an hour up the highway, 7,000 feet, it'll be blue skies, probably 10 to 15 degrees warmer, absolutely gorgeous up there and no pollution whatsoever. Well, we're just coming up to the mouth of Little Cottonwood Canyon, and that's where Snowbird and Alta are. Alta's at the very top at the end of the canyon, and Snowbird is just before that. Alta gets over 500 inches a year of powder, of snow. That's 150 inches more, typically, than Park City. It's a beautiful canyon, it's small, and it is under a tremendous controversy. Because of the traffic jams, both up Little Cottonwood and Big Cottonwood, they're looking at Little Cottonwood installing a gondola, and people are just absolutely up in arms about this. It would absolutely ruin the aesthetics of this canyon. It's a 12-month out of the year usage up here, from skiing and snowboarding to ice climbing to camping, hiking, horseback riding, all of that in this canyon. Well, except for the horseback riding. But people are up in arms because it's such a beautiful canyon, and to think of a massive gondola structure going all the way up the canyon will absolutely destroy the aesthetics, the peacefulness, and it's all just for skiers. It's only in the winter time, like on the weekend and Christmas holiday, that sort of thing, that this canyon gets really bad. The weekends are really bad, but for the rest of us to have to suffer the rest of the year seeing this massive structure that will create so much construction up here is just abhorrent, and people are really upset. You can see now how much clearer the sky is up here, and we've barely risen in elevation. As the inversion continues, even down here, we'll lose the sun. It'll be gray and dark and brown and stink and be really damp because that inversion traps moisture in the valley floor, making it really, really cold. So the road up here is only one lane each way, and it's a fairly dangerous road. It's not really because of the drop-off or the snow or ice. You simply drive the conditions, and when it's icy, when it's snowing, you have to have four-wheel drive or traction devices installed or chains on before the police will let you up. But what makes it dangerous is the stupidity of a few people who think that this is a race car route. I've had people coming down here that are spinning out of control, and they're pushing on the accelerator, and they're in the other lane. They want to pass on the yellow line where it's a blind corner. They're just absolutely freaking stupid. But most people just take their time and get up here safely. It takes only about 15 minutes to come up here on a good day, maybe 25 to 30 minutes on a crowded day or when it's snowing, but that's better than getting in a car wreck. I was driving one year for a transportation company, and I came around a blind corner, and here was a four-wheel drive Jeep in my lane, couldn't get any traction, missed my van by about 1 foot, and it was full of passengers that I was taking to the airport. The stupidity of that. And it was a blind corner, it was single lane, double yellow line, no passing, and they couldn't care less because they're so arrogant, they think they have to race up here. So here's a passing lane, and people will pass here, and that's fine, you know, that's what it's for. But you still have to drive the conditions. Now, this guy thinks he's going to get in front of that white car so he can go in faster, but the chances of him getting in front of that white car are pretty slim because just up here, it goes back to one lane. So as you can see, He got in front of me, but there's 2 cars in front of him that aren't going any faster than what we went because I was just mirroring their speed. But that's the arrogance of some of these drivers. They think they just deserve to go faster and put other people at risk. Now here's another passing lane here, and he'll probably make it. So now the 2 people that passed me are stuck behind 3 cars, and we're at Snowbird. The first entrance to Snowbird is just up here. What did they gain? Nothing. But that's what people do. So you can just see one of the major slopes of Snowbird here. They have a huge gondola that runs in the summertime as well. You can take your mountain bikes up there and then come racing down on your mountain bike. And it's a premier destination. There's 3 more exits for Snowbird, and I imagine they'll try and expand as well with the Olympics coming, and I think it's 2034 it is, and we've had the Olympics in 2022, and all the ski areas are gearing up to make major expansions because they see that as an easier way to get permits. Here's the second entrance into Snowbird. This is one of the lodges here. There's a couple of them along here, and the base of the gondola is just up here. You can come up here in the summertime. There's great hiking, lots of wildlife, festivals, that sort of thing. And Alta is even further, and they get more snow than Snowbird does. So this is one of the major avalanche areas right here that we're in, and it often closes the road. When we get a good snowfall, they have to blow all the avalanches before they'll open the road. Or, in the morning after they've blown it, they may find that they still have more avalanche dangers that they have to deal with, or later in the afternoon. So sometimes they'll close the lifts so that people can get down, or you can be stuck here overnight. So that was Snowbird and the little town of Alta. Now we're going to come up to Alta up here, which is at the very head of the valley. It's quite beautiful. There's very little construction that they've allowed up here. Up here is where a lot of the snow touring takes place, and on a fresh snowfall, people will come up before work, climb up there, get a run in. And as the sun comes up, you can see all the tracks that people have put in there from their ski touring. This resort right here is called Rustler. It's an old resort. I've met people that came the first year that this was open and been coming up for 30 years ever since. Never missed a year. A lot of traditions here. And up there is the end of the road. That's as far as you can go in the wintertime. Absolutely beautiful. Been up there and seen moose laying around, deer. You can see some of the lifts here. T-bar down there, a little chair, gets you up to your lodge. You would ski down to the bottom and then ski down over there and take your lifts up different places. This is known for its powder and the fact that they don't allow snowboarders here. Only skiers, which is controversial for some. And some people cross the boundary from Snowbird over to here, but they can get fined. So beautiful up here. Been up here in the summertime to do some hiking and everything, and man, oh man, is it gorgeous. So as you can see, it's a beautiful, beautiful place. I mean, this is a paradise. And what did it take me? 15 minutes, maybe 20 at the most, to come up here. Now, mind you, it's a Wednesday, and so there's not many people that are coming up this time. It's mid-morning. Most people have been up here since this morning, would get up here before the lifts open up, get their skis ready, have a little breakfast or something. But it's truly a remarkable place. We love coming up here. Now, during Christmas, This is nuts, absolutely crazy. Could be in a lift line for, an hour. It's not as bad as Park City because Park City is more well known and they have snowboarders there that they allow. There's lots of accommodation. It's a very famous resort, especially with Robert Redford's Sundance Film Festival, which I think they're splitting off this year, and they're going to have half the festival at Sundance and half the festival somewhere else, which is good because it's so crowded at that time. I've driven transportation during Sundance Festival, and if it's snowing, forget it. And people are rude. They're in a rush. They want to get to their screenings and see the stars and all that kind of stuff. But it's exciting at the same time. We've never been to the festival except when I was driving transportation, and that was pretty cool, but it was really stressful because people had planes to catch and all that sort of stuff. So I hope you like this video. I know it's kind of a funny little video, but I wanted to test out this new GoPro. It's the GoPro 13 Black that I just bought last week. First time I filmed with it, and I'm really impressed, especially with all that it does. And this is just on the internal to the camera. But man, it's so different. I have one other GoPro. It's a Hero 5 Black, and this is totally different. So I'm thrilled. I was going to return it until I started to study all the things that it could do, and I'm just so impressed. So I've got my 90D Canon, I've got my iPhone 13 Pro, and now I've got this. And this is just like in my pocket kind of thing. And I can still set up an external mic for even better quality. If you're thinking about the GoPro 13 Black, it's phenomenal. So this is coming into the little town of Alta the back way, and we'll end up down where Snowbird is, the main resort. A lot of these are short-term rentals and where people live. And Snowbird is just below Alta. As you can see, we're going down here. Across the way is where that one avalanche area was that I mentioned. And then right in here, you'll see the heliport. They have helicopter tours here in the wintertime. You book that tour and you're up and over the Wasatch Range. I hear it's really beautiful. So this is all Snowbird in here. And they do allow snowboarding here. This is all parking here in the wintertime. Now it gets pretty crazy because you have skiers over here trying to get across the road to where they parked over here. And this is the main lodge at Snowbird here, called the Cliff. If you're going to eat up here, like if you're skiing or here in the summertime, you just realize that it is a tourist area, it is a ski area, and things are a lot more expensive. But you're up here, and like I just had lunch, and it was a bit more expensive than down in the city, but I got to eat up here and watch the skiers. It was great. And you just expect that you're going to pay more. That's all. Now we'll be up on the main road that goes down into the valley and back into Salt Lake. You can see these kind of two tubes there, and that's so that skiers can get back up to here. It's a conveyor belt that brings them back up to the parking area. Now as we come around the corner, we're going to be able to see the pollution. There it is in the valley. And that's not even a bad day yet. And here it is here. Now we're just about in the valley, and you can see it's can't even see the mountains on the other side. I've known people that have already moved out because they know how bad it's going to get, so they decided to leave early. So take care. If you hit that like button, that would be great. Subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.